It's to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the New York Jets and the Baltimore Ravens. For a berth in the AFC Championship game, off we go in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Now Hall to start the drive. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is fielded at the 7. Well, very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll buy some time right, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. The decision that time was to keep it, and not a great one. Once he got out right with the football, there was just nowhere to go.
And I felt bad for his offensive line there because their job is to create creases, right? Create openings. But if those defenders keep their shoulders square to the line of scrimmage and refuse to be budged, that's the end result. No place for him to turn upfield. No chance to gain any yardage.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jackson. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get. So he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave him. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
Need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. And all the pressure that goes on in these playoffs, but the first score here in the divisional round always very key.
Partner, this team handled it like it was a regular season game, that they were confident in what they were doing, came right out and established themselves early.
Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Jackson on first down. A slant route caught by Bateman. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Carl Lawson in there to bury him for a loss of 11. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Jackson. That would almost intercept it, but it's incomplete. Not a good throw there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the counter now, it's Dobbins. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 29. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very important 3rd down conversion right there, because when you're trailing and find yourself this deep in enemy territory, the kicker's not even part of your thought process. You got to make it pay off with 6. Nice connection right there to set up 1st and goal.
An opportunity to get back to level after the fumble return touchdown. 1st and goal. They'll run with Dobbins. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal from inside the 5. Jackson now. Right side, there's Likely with it. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. J.K. Dobbins. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Tucker with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Obviously, so much on the line here, everything on the line this season. So important to get off to a hot start. That run certainly helps.
Definitely provided it. Nothing different than what they've seen all year long. They want to continue to ride that momentum.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They go play action with Wilson. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
7-7, our score after 1. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Wilson now off the bootleg. On the move to his left. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Greg Newsom. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side. It deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to hold that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And taken right at the 35. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
From just shy of midfield, Jackson. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. I really enjoy watching Lamar Jackson run those RPOs, Charles, but I'll tell you what, it's tough calling play-by-play because you don't know whether he handed it off or kept it.
Makes you focus, doesn't it? You've got to try and stay with it, and even when we do, we often can get it wrong because our eyes naturally go to him because he creates big plays. But if you're a runner and you're playing with Lamar Jackson, aren't you happy? He creates so much concentration on him, it should open up things for you.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Dobbins will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brendan, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
Two of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Dobbins once more. And this time he's going to lose yardage as they push him back to the 4-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A big one coming in this divisional round playoff, 3rd and goal. Play action. It's Jackson. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. And the Jets defense making things difficult there. 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Tucker's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. But backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
But it certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Four minutes to play here in quarter number 2. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
I don't think anyone would argue that having that extra week definitely helps come playoff time. And those were some fresh legs right there. That extra practice time and planning, certainly in evidence.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. Now we're first and 10 at the 11. Throwing is Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Second and 1 from the 2. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his second touchdown here in this first half. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it first and 10. Now Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
An incomplete pass leads to second and 10 from the 25. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
This offense so far on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third and 10. To throw is Wilson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't come in.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Jackson. Complete to Likely. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. And he will have a Ravens 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds it for the 1st down.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature and make sure you don't get hurt.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the 1st half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners. And they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
So just 8 ticks remaining here in the 1st half as they'll kick this one away. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So it's on to halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional Round. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game. That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And some room to roam now. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll go again with Dobbins. Gets by him at the 25. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To the football, it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is, there he goes, left side. The 40, past the 20, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. 65 yards. And the Jets take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. So that an unexpected, a very unexpected way to draw closer, but draw closer they do on the blocked field goal return.
We always talk about needing that spark from the special teams when you're down on the scoreboard. They gave them one there, and now the special teams understands they are important.
Extra point by Blankenship is up and good, and that cuts this lead down to 13. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. offense set at the line for this next drive. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. This time Jackson will throw it. The Jets pressure too much as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. The Ravens send their punter out now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10. Right at the 50-yard line. He'll give it to Hall to start the drive. He'll take this to the 46.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Blankenship's kick is good. But for almost 8 years, 64 stood as the NFL record for the longest field goal. That has since been eclipsed. It's now 66, but still 64-yarder. Pretty impressive, CD.
Absolutely agree with that, because if you drill a 60-yarder in an NFL game, you've got a lot to be proud of, record or no record. And only a handful of guys can even attempt it. Excellent job there, putting that one through the pipes.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away. When you build up a lead, you think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Jackson fighting his tight end Andrews for the Ravens. First down.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Dobbins trying the left side. He'll get this to about the 38.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
On that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Another run here with Dobbins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 93 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he is trying to will his guys to the championship round next weekend. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Meanwhile, Jackson's thrown into the hands of Andrews. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 36. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. He'll get it inside the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Ravens will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the third. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. 1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the... After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And he rifles one incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's the bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage to try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And able to work his way down to the 16. 102 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in this divisional round matchup.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their hopes of advancing past this divisional round hanging by a thread, if that, as they begin here with a 1st and 10 on the wrong side of the scoreboard. Here's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so, because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Play action. It's Wilson. Throw right side. Caught by Goddard, the tight end. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Jets on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Boy, and now they can't even get a playoff. Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Another solid game-changing play for this defense for the interception. At this point, though, I don't know that it's game-changing. I mean, they've got this one in firm control. And you always hear about, those stories about someone left their game plan behind and maybe you benefit from it. I'm not going to say that happened, but they certainly have appeared on defense to be a step ahead this entire game. Guys are always in the right spot in order to make a play. The offense has had its moments, too. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he's got room. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins, 31 yards. And the Ravens are drawing closer to a date in the AFC title game as they extend this 4th quarter lead. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage. We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground. Hall. Room here to run. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, 75 yards. And the Jets get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead now down to 20. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach, or probably his agent too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 147 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Play 3 of the drive not as successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Now a handoff for Dobbins. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
Right back to him on first down. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 4-yard touchdown scamper. And the Ravens continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. kicker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Completes this one to Starks. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. First catch for him in these playoffs. He was held without one last week, but he's got a 1st down on that effort. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a 1st down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Here's Wilson to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis. And the Ravens are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, it wasn't always pretty, but the interception there, that means that they should get out of here with a victory.
Yeah, this is not a game that they're going to preserve for posterity on defense, but they did finish it off, didn't they? They did make the winning play to close things out. They'll take that one and head to the locker room.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
as we say so long, everybody.